Time now for the morning rush. We're waiting to find out if a child's body found on a compound in Taos County belongs to a 4-year-old boy missing since December. The Taos County Sheriff's Office says they're now waiting for confirmation from the medical examiner's office for official results. The bizarre case began when police in Georgia say the mother of 4-year-old Abdul Wahaj called to report Siraj Wahaj, the boy's father, took him to a park and didn't return. A tip led investigators to that compound near Amalia, New Mexico. Deputies say they found Wahaj, another man identified as Lucas Morton, 3 women, and 11 malnourished children. Of course, we'll continue following this case closely, bring you updates right here on KRQE News 13.
Well, take a look at your screen. Police believe this vehicle, which may be involved in yesterday's hit and run, has been located. This morning, Albuquerque police are still working to identify the driver of the truck. The crash happened yesterday near Yale and Ross Southeast. Now, police say the driver of the truck hit a bicyclist who likely remains in critical condition. Kristen?
Spotty to scattered storms on the way, stretching from the southwest to the northeast. Some of these could be on the strong to severe side within the plains. Watching for large hail and damaging winds, isolated to spotty storms here in the metro. We'll send things back over to Crystal.
We continue to follow breaking news for you this morning. We're waiting to find out more about a possible structure fire in northwest Albuquerque. A crew is on scene, spotted smoke coming from a home in the 3000 block of Decker Avenue. That's near Candelaria and Glenwood.
And the defense in the trial of Paul Manafort went on the attack when questioning the government star witness Rick Gates. Gates was Manafort's former business deputy. Now, during the hearing, Gates admitted to having an apartment used for having affairs, but denies using funds embezzled by the Manafort to pay for it. Now, he also said it was, quote, possible that he submitted personal expenses to the Trump campaign to be reimbursed.
This morning, a once-escaped inmate back behind bars at the Clovis jail. Officials say all signs are pointing to a door that was not secured. Deputies say 25-year-old Caitlin Martinez-Arrington overpowered a healthcare worker Monday night at the Curry County Detention Center. According to the Eastern New Mexico News, this was after the worker walked out of an area without making sure the door had closed completely. Officers found and arrested the escapee at a nearby home.
And this morning, a suspected car thief is waking up in police custody, accused of breaking into a home. APD says they stopped Dustin Ferguson, who was driving a stolen car yesterday. Police say that he took off, broke into a home in Ventana Ranch, and held a family hostage, demanding a knife and keys. They say Ferguson then stole the family's vehicle and fled. Officers were able to track him down to a home in the North Valley where he was arrested.
On to new details at 6. A federal judge in Texas set to hear arguments today over ending the DACA program. The case filed by the Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton could impact some 700,000 people known as Dreamers or DACA participants. 4 federal judges have issued rulings to protect the program that President Trump announced he was ending last year. If the Texas judge orders an end to the program, it would conflict with the other rulings and could be rushed to the Supreme Court.
Well, there will be less students participating in the Fiestas de Santa Fe. Every year, the Fiestas in Santa Fe court goes to the public schools commemorating the Spaniards' reconquest of Santa Fe. But some are against it because of the Spaniards' treatment of Native Americans. The Santa Fe Public School Board voted 4-1 late last night to only allow members of the Fiesta Court to visit only classes that study New Mexico history. Students who do not want to attend can opt out.
On to new details now. Fire crews hoping to keep the so-called holy fire south of LA from ravaging hillside neighborhoods. Some Orange County residents say they had little to no time to escape. North of San Francisco, though, fire crews say they expect to fight the Mendocino complex fire well until September. It's now the largest fire in California's history. Kristen.
Today's Metro Threat Index out of 5, watching for spotty to scattered storms. Not likely to be severe here in Albuquerque, but we do have that risk further east. Hot temperatures on top of that is a forecast high here in downtown, about 96 degrees. Crystal?
On to news happening right now. An Albuquerque family is suing APS over a popular playground piece of equipment. One family says their daughter suffered permanent injuries after she was thrown off the Spinami at Osuna Elementary back in 2016. The family is suing the district and the attraction's maker, Playworld, citing equipment failure and no adult supervision. Both APS and Playworld have yet to comment.
Well, a few spots remain for an academy connecting the classroom with the workforce. CNN has partnered with the Rio Rancho Public Schools to create a fire academy for juniors and seniors. During the fall semester, students will receive basic wildland firefighting training and fire science, and then from there they will go through an emergency responder course. At the end, they will have 9 credits towards their degree. Kristen?
Now for a check on traffic, officials are asking you to avoid the area of Candelaria and Glenwood because that structure fire we were telling you about earlier. Your alternate route there would be Griegos or Manal. We also have our news tracker out and about this morning. I-40 eastbound just passing Wantabo. Pretty clear for the moment. We'll let you know if that changes.
Listen to this. Cincinnati Zoo's beloved and adorable Fiona back in the limelight. Her new children's book, Fiona the Hippo, came out just yesterday. It's by New York Times bestselling artist Richard Cowdery. It tells the story of Fiona, an internet sensation who was born prematurely but managed to survive and become a healthy hippo and loving life. Isn't she so adorable?
Becoming quite the star.
Good morning. Final check on that day planner for you. 60s and 70s now, 80s by noon, and then it's a forecast high of 96 today. We've got some spotty to scattered storms in the mix this afternoon, stretching from the southwest to the northeast. That cold front moves in overnight. It first comes with wind and then eventually some cooler temperatures and more moisture. So expect those rain chances to increase Thursday and again on Friday afternoon. Severe weather threat out across the east later on today. Time now for the 5 facts.
Start with number 5 here. The Shorthorn Little Leaguers from Carlsbad fell short in their game last night on their way to the Little League World Series. The Shorthorns took on the Tulsa Nationals, falling 6-3. Only one New Mexico team has ever made it to the Little League World Series. That was Roswell back in 1956, and they won it all.
At number 4, a new relationship between local law enforcement and Albuquerque's community centers is in the works. APD commanders met with the community center managers yesterday, and they want to improve relationships between the centers, its youth, and police. Now, the city has 22 community centers across the city.
At number 3, today will look and feel very similar to yesterday with spotty to scattered storms, rain chances increasing and temperatures decreasing through Friday.
Number 2 now, viral video of a traffic stop in Taos could likely play a role during a man's trial after charges are now refiled. Philip Page and his passenger Angela Fisher Edana were driving through Taos back in February when this traffic stop happened. Page says the officer never identified himself and demanded that he roll down his window or step out of the car. When Page did not comply, video shows police breaking that window. News 13 spoke with New Mexico State Police Chief Pete Caceres, who tells us Page was warned roughly 8 times to comply. Page is now charged with resisting arrest, concealing identity, and abuse of 911.
At number 1, 5 people could make their first appearance in court today in connection to the compound found in Amalia. This is where 11 children were found to be living in filthy conditions. Meanwhile, the 3-year-old from Georgia, who authorities were looking for, has yet to be found alive. Yesterday, officials say remains of a small child were found on the property. The Taos County Sheriff's Office says they would not confirm whether or not the bones are that of the missing boy named Abdul. They are still waiting for results from the medical examiner's office. Now, authorities believe that Abdul's father, Suraj Waha, took the boy from Georgia back in December.